Okay, this little video is to help you once you have a basic outline. So, a basic outline is your expository question and then answers that you think are insightful. How to develop those answers into full fledged paragraphs is drafting. Okay, and I call that paragraph development. So, here is a little exercise, a writing activity that I use to help me generate thoughts and ideas, um, what I will actually have in a paragraph. So remember, a paragraph is one mode of topic. So if I'm talking about why we love college football, that's my expository question. You might also phrase that as what are the reasons we love college football? One mode of topic is one reason we love college football is we need traditions in our lives, and college football is full of them. So, my idea is that one thing that really draws us to college football is the traditions in it. It's tradition rich. And that's one reason why it's so popular, why we're so attracted to it. So once I have a basic idea and I want to push it, I want to explore it, I want to develop it, I need to think about how do I get the reader to feel, know, and believe this idea of traditions being a major cause of college football's popularity. This is really challenging because it asks the writer to get the reader to feel, know, and believe what the writer believes with just the words on the page. So to do that, I have a list of things to do. Um, give an example, a story, or illustration. Explode a moment, use a comparison, sensory description, emotional description. Explain the example, story, or illustration. Draw attention to particular aspects. Illustrate or explain a specific part, and then return to the topic. These are not all things you would do in a final draft of a paragraph, but they are a little list of ways to push a writer to think about the topic. And I've done that down below. So, first, give the answer. And the answer is one reason we love college football is we need traditions in our lives, and college football is full of them. Then elaborate on that answer. We need traditions to guide us. So that's taking that next step. Why do you need traditions? They guide us. They provide guide rails and help us find our path. They give us a chance to learn who we are. Now, you'll notice there's lots of grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes in this. That's because this is fast writing. I'm not trying to make it grammatically perfect. I'm just trying to get ideas out there. I'm trying to get the little voice in my head on the page. So, give an example, a story, or illustration. Explode a moment. This is where you describe something in great detail. You're trying to really take something that happened really fast and slow it down, almost like it's a movie scene, and explain it. All of my childhood fall Saturdays started with my dad screaming, "Go Blue," as he tore the sheets off my bed, waking me up way too early. He ran around the house, scantily clothed, singing the fight song. He cooked breakfast and delivered it with a loud, "It's game day." Every Saturday was guaranteed to have such energy and excitement. The reliability of those days grounded me, helping me find my way through the tumultuous teenage years. I might not know who I was, but on every Saturday I was a Wolverine. So I wrote that really starting with that moment of how my dad would wake me up. Now, this is all me centered. To make it more topic centered, I would add things like, uh, go back to the idea. Traditions ground us, giving us a foundation from which we can face our fears and challenges of the future. I don't know. I'm drafting, thinking of stuff. You can use a comparison. So, how is this tradition of college football like other traditions? So, I wrote, it is like other rituals of life, like going to church. I was obligated and felt guilty if I didn't participate. I felt a righteousness afterwards, like I found some sort of spiritual cleanliness. It was morally right. In fact, it felt like redemption. I might have screwed up all kinds of things that week, but if I did my duty as a fan, I got a fresh start. I'm continuing to explore this idea of traditions, that traditions, uh, in a way, renew us. Traditions renew us. They provide a clean slate, the ultimate do-over. Describe the traditions in terms of your senses. So now I'm thinking about live football, and the traditions associated with watching football at a particular place. And they all have their own unique traditions. Wisconsin's got the jump around in the third quarter. You can just go through each big school and they have these things they do. Even small schools do it. So in the big house, of course, you sing "Hail to the Victors." Um, some of these traditions revolve around watching the game. 100,000 screaming fans all singing when most couldn't sing "Hail to the Victors" connected me to a world of strangers. I didn't know anyone around me at the game, but when they all broke out in Mr. Brightside, there were no strangers, and I felt the power in the community of mankind. Oh, so I really like this idea of traditions connect us to community. Whoops, happened there. Traditions connect us to community. Love that. An emotional description. Tailgating is another example of the traditions of college football that capture so many. Crisp fall mornings invite lawn chairs and kegs of beer. Cornhole and euchre reconnect old friends and make new ones. For a few wonderful hours, all cares melt away, and we are lost in practicing the same joys over and over. The mindlessness of this incites. We don't have to plan or invent. We know what to do, and such certainty comforts us. So now traditions are comforting. So now illustrator explain a specific part. So I really just wrote about that comfort. So the comfort of traditions is born of habit. We carve a groove in our life, and walking it over and over soothes us. We love the familiar as it connects us to our childhoods, connects our children to our parents. Yes, I run around every Saturday morning today, exhorting my girls with cheerleader chants and dire threats about the opposing team, especially those dreaded Spartans. So now I've gone into depth about one of the ideas and actually connected it to my own childhood. And then after all of this, I try to say, okay, I'm going to return back to the topic like you would in a paragraph. Rituals exist across the college world, and they are part of why we go. So this is all fast writing, the drafting as I'm thinking of ideas. And then I go back to this and think about, okay, I'm going to make just all of this a paragraph and expand that. Or maybe that one and this one really fit together. Um, and that the idea of blank slates and comfort, and I'm going to put those two together in a paragraph. It's a way to generate ideas and get you thinking about how do people feel, know, and believe my answer? How does my reader going to feel, know, and believe my answer? So all of this is about one paragraph, right? Um, and again, this is a exercise. You're not going to put all of this in a paragraph. You might revise it, but that's not really the intent. The intent is to get you thinking in a lot of ways about it. And then you'll do this again for your next mode of topic. So your next answer. So why do we love college football? All of this was about this idea of traditions. My next one is going to be about we really love college football because it helps us feel part of a tribe. If I see somebody else with a Michigan hat on, I always say go blue, and they always say go blue back. And then I'd write about why is that compelling? Why is being part of a tribe compelling? And I'd do these things. I would explode a moment. I'd probably talk about that, the go blue phenomenon, a sensory description, an emotional description, This makes me think about the wave motorcyclers always give each other. This idea of belonging to a group, even when the other people are strangers or nameless. So good luck with writing. You are in it now. It's painful. The only way through it is through it. Good luck, and contact me if you need some help.